Archaeologists are stunned by unusual construction material found in Babylon at the time of the Tower of Babel construction and King Nebuchadnezzar II. They were stunned in finding bitumen and mortar on a brick commissioned by the ancient Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar II. It's revealed vital clues about the city's famed Tower of Babel. And this is from the Smithsonian channel, and the curator of the British Museum, an archaeologist and hieroglyphic experts, Irvin Finkel. Now, the Bible contains several mysterious stories, one of them being the Tower of Babel. Its existence eluded researchers for years. Now we know Babylon is in the area what we have today as in Mesopotamia, Iraq. So researchers are examining, and many assert that this merely metaphorical. Others claim the tower was real and a serving structure. And according to Bible, Genesis 11, verse 1 to 9, the tower was built in the land of Shinar, that is Babylonia, sometime after, of course, the Great Flood. There's interest and research, and offered up a handful of vital clues and evidence for the tower's existence. It includes some unusual construction material, and this was discovered on a brick believed to have once been part of this Tower of Babel. The brick was commissioned by King Nebuchadnezzar II. He was the man who researchers believe ordered the tower's construction. In a bid for world supremacy back in the 6th century BC, 586 BC, he stormed Jerusalem, a city 500 miles to the west. He captured it, mostly high-skilled, high-educated citizens. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. This was at the time of the prophet Daniel, as we know, at the exile to Babylon, and concerning their plight, and how their presence in Babylon may hint at the existence of the Tower of Babylon, was recalled during the Smithsonian Channel documentary Secrets Unlocked, Tower of Babel. So it's believed that these people, of course, were brought into Babylon in modern-day Iraq, where they were, of course, enslaved and forced to work, and they were in captivity for 70 years. Some experts believe that these captive Jews witnessed the tower being built and were at first mesmerized, but some looked at the structure as a symbol of their oppression. Now, Dr. Irvin Finkel of the British Museum said, when you look at the early chapters of the Bible, it's clear that some of it is drawn from the Judeans' own records, and some of it incorporates narratives which they must have encountered for the first time in Babylon, which were so powerful and striking that the authors, the philosophers who worked on the Hebrew texts, incorporated them to tell, of course, their own story. The documentary narrates there is a compelling clue in the story that backs up the theory that Jewish slaves witnessed the tower being built during their time in captivity. And presenting an original Babylon brick found in modern-day Iraq, they said it carries traces of an unusual construction material from the time, and that's bitumen, an ancient tar. Now, we know that, of course, the area is full of oil and gas, and the tar just bubbles up. So this was an ancient tar and mortar that's specifically mentioned in the biblical tale. We know that tar was even used in making the Ark of the Covenant. Sorry, the Noah's Ark. What am I saying? Noah's Ark. Now, researchers now know that Nebuchadnezzar commissioned the brick because there's a stamped inscription of his name on the front of the brick. The edge of the brick is covered with a murky black, and that is the bitumen. Dr. Finkel said, in the book of Genesis, it literally says that they use brick for stone and bitumen for mortar. It's expressly said there. What we have here is one brick, and it's bitumen, which fits exactly into that special context. And that there can be no doubt that the stimulus for the story and narrative must have taken shape during the Babylonian exile. And the evidence could help to prove, of course, the existence of the Tower of Babel. its story written by a desperate population in exile held captive by a ruthless king. And concerning the research and Dr. Finkel's conclusion, the narrator says the destruction of the Tower of Babel was the captive's way to rewrite history. It's a fiction rooted in truth. I don't believe it's a fiction. Now, aside from the tower, the exact location of Babylon has also been a point of contention. Where exactly was this tower located? Many claim that the ancient city was within the borders of modern-day Iraq, but others say it was elsewhere in the Middle East. Writing for Answers in Genesis, Anne Habermel argued that historical, geographical, and geological analysis shows that Shinar cannot have been in the south, but rather was a territory in what is northeastern Syria today. So it's one thing being in the area of Baghdad, and another thing being in Syria. Syria is north of Israel. She added the Tower of Babel was most likely built in the Kabur River triangle of North Syria, somewhere inside a triangle marked at its points by Tel Brak, and could not have been located anywhere in southern Mesopotamia, as has been traditionally believed. She said there is a possibility that we may yet find the actual site of the Tower of Babel, but this will require further research as well as on-site archaeological excavation. Regardless, overwhelming majority of researchers and historical literature suggest that Babylon was located around 60 miles south of Baghdad. The city served for nearly 2 millennia. It was the center of Mesopotamian civilization. Babylon was also home to another feat of engineering said to be one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. They gained something of a legendary status, described as resembling a large green mountain with an ascending series of tiered gardens containing a wide variety of trees, shrubs, and vines. And according to one legend, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon were also built by King Nebuchadnezzar alongside the palace known as the Marvel of Mankind. And as with the Tower of Babel, it is as yet unknown if the Hanging Gardens of Babylon really existed or where they were located. And this is by Express UK Joel Day. Now, of course, this brick that has King Nebuchadnezzar's seal on it, where was this found? That's a good question. Why don't they start with that? Where was this brick found? Perhaps they can dig around, find more bricks, and really underneath the area of sand and dirt and soil, maybe they can find ancient ruins or more building material from this construction, or even the foundations of the Tower of Babylon. Now we know that we've had a lot of earth changes since then. It could be that we've had ancient mud floods or ancient eruptions with ash clouds covering the area. We know we've had a tremendous amount of environmental and earth changes in that time, 2,500 years. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. And another, of course, factor they have to look into is where was this tar, this bitumen, more ample? Of course, it must have been very frequently used and available, very easily available in the area of Babylon, where we have oil and gas reserves galore, even up to today, as opposed to Syria.